Hi folks, Puffin here. I just finished watching the cartoon movie Ron's Gone Wrong, and I liked it a lot, so I wanted to tell you about it and why I liked it. It kind of gave me some E.T. vibes in a lot of ways. I don't want to spoil too much about the movie, so I'll try to talk about it without telling you too much about it. But the basic premise that you see from the preview, and I like the preview, so I was glad to see that I liked the movie, because the preview was good to begin with. But the movie, I just liked it all the way through. The premise is kids get a little robot that's like their social media um, robot, their little social media coordinator, who makes friends for them is the idea. Um, Connects with other kids' robots and therefore other kids based on their preferences, all the stuff they would upload to their social media account. And the main kid in the story doesn't have any friends and he doesn't have a bot. So that's how it all starts. And then the bot that he ends up getting is defective, or it doesn't have the programming of the other bots. And that's where it has this you can imagine the hijinks that ensue. Although, watch the movie, and again, I won't spoil it, but it does remind me of some ET things. And the main principle behind ET that makes it so appealing is that the other, the alien, the outsider, the different creature, is what deserves sympathy and protection and friendship. And the system, represented by the other people, don't seem to get it, and it thwarts the system. That's the underlying principle of ET, which is also present in this, because what works, or the programming that the B-bots have, is what sells. And this bot, uh, uh, Ron, doesn't have that programming, but he ends up with the programming for how to be a friend. And so it is about friendship, but it's also about how friendship and goodness are kind of against and antithetical to the model, the corporate model, or the system of what sells. And so there's some really important messages in there. They say at one point that his grandma is an ex-anti-communist, which I thought was a great turn of a phrase. But the thing is, if the social media corporations have recently admitted that they amplify and therefore suppress, in order to make space for it to amplify to maximum extent, right-wing speech. And in doing that, they maximize engagement because they maximize outrage. Now, if you think about that, just step back and look at it for a second. It means that a very small percentage of people who make this type of speech are amplified, magnified, hundreds and thousands of times, millions of times, because it's the most outrageous stuff. It's the stuff that upsets and angers the most people. So when you think about how it angers and upsets the most people, say 80, 90% of us, that means only 5 or 10% or less actually say this stuff. But between them and bots and stuff, it's amplified all this much. Now, that's the system that we have in place right now. Twitter admitted they do this. You can tell Facebook's done it, but they haven't gotten down to the nitty-gritty yet, but to see all the details. But Facebook does that the most, as far as I can tell, from my experience. So to switch that to the other side, to say, hey, let's magnify what everybody else says. Let's magnify what leftists say. Or let's just let everything be fair and let as many people as say it, instead of magnifying anybody. You do either of those strategies and you save the world, because good ideas will spread and grow, and people will. Now, it might go contrary to what the system has in mind. And so that's one reason I think that while E.T. was a huge blockbuster movie, one of the biggest movies of all time, and everybody saw it at the time, and people went to the theaters to see it, I saw a preview for Ron's Gone Wrong in the theaters and didn't make it to the theater in time to see it because it was, I guess, in and out of the theaters pretty quickly, which is understandable in this pandemic era. At the same time, it makes me think, well, it's just because it has some criticism against the system, the way things are done, and some good criticism. But it also ties in magically with something else I heard that I'm going to make another video about. So stay tuned for a Ghost in the Machine video about something I heard on the radio on This American Life. Thanks for watching. See you soon.